Hi ninjas, welcome back to the channel. I hope you liked the first video where we covered the basics of all the UI elements on the screen. In this video, we'll go through the different elements on how to move a unit, what are the different types of unit, what are all the different types of building available in Age of Empires, and what are the different resources and how do you gather them. Let's get into the video. To select a unit, the left mouse button is used. Either select a unit by left clicking or dragging a box around them. Once the unit is selected, you should be able to see the information on the unit in the bottom info panel. It displays the HP, the attack, and the armor if applicable. On the left panel, you should see the available options for that unit. Now, let's get into the movement. Right click anywhere on the map for the unit to move. As you can see, when the unit moves, you are exploring the unexplored territory. The more you explore, the more it is visible on the minimap. Exploration is an important part of the game. It helps provide you information about the map and the enemy location. If you observe closely, there are three different areas in the map. One is the black area, which is called unexplored territory. One is the bright white area, where this is the line of sight of a specific unit. Anything within this area should be visible. For example, enemy units that pass by, enemy buildings. Third, if you see the darkened area which is already explored, enemy units will only be visible when the line of sight reaches over there. These are the basics of selection and movement. Let's get into multiple unit movement. Now that we have learned how to select and move the unit, there are 4 different units on the map. If we want to select all the units, drag a box around them to select all the units. And you should see in the information panel that all the units are selected. Next is the speed of the units. Manual Siege, for example, has slow speed. Cavalry, on the other hand, has high speed. Infantry has medium speed. Villagers also have medium speed. Always remember, when moving multiple units, the units travel at the speed of the slowest unit in the selection. Exception to the villagers. Villagers always travel in their own speed, where the military units always have the speed of the slowest unit, which is the mangonel. Now that we have learnt about how to move around the map and how to explore map, it's time to learn about the different buildings. The first building that we look into is the town center. Town center is a very important building for your civilization. This is where you create villagers, research economic technologies such as loom, which provides armor, wheelbarrow, which increases productivity, and town watch, which increases line of sight for the buildings. And this is where you age up. More on the different ages later. Next set of buildings is the economic buildings. Lumber camp is used to collect wood. Mining camp is used to collect gold and stone. Mills, folwarks are used to collect food. We do have a mule cart, which is specific to certain civilizations. This does the action of mining and lumber camp. The third set of buildings are the market, blacksmith, and monastery. Market is where you buy and sell resources. The top column is for selling. What does the numbers mean? It means you sell 100 wood for 70 gold. The transactions are always in gold. Be wise when you spend in market. This is also where you create trade cards, which will be used later in the game. Trade cards are primary source of gold when the land gold runs out. Next is the blacksmith. Blacksmith is very essential building, because here is where you upgrade your armor and your attack for all your units, be it archery units, be it cavalry units, and be it infantry units. The next building is monastery. Here is where you train monks. Monks are essential for healing your population if they are hurt. They are also able to carry relics across maps, which will give you trickle of gold over a point in time. Monks can also convert enemy units. The next set of buildings are watchtowers. These are the different towers that are accessible at different ages. You start with a watchtower with 850 HP, then you upgrade them to guard tower, which has 1500 XP, then you upgrade them to keeps, which has 2250 HP. Bomber towers are specialized towers which shoots a cannon. All the other 3 towers shoots arrows out of them. These are defensive buildings for a civilization. The next set of buildings are very essential for your army protection and military units. The first building that you need to construct before constructing any other buildings is the barracks. Barracks is for creating infantry units. All the units that carry a sword, a pole, and fight in melee battles are created from here. The next building is the archery range. Archery range is primarily for creating units which has ranged attack. You create archers, crossbowmen, skirmishers, elephant archers, cavalry archers, and gunmen from this building. The next building is the stable. This is where you have access to creating all your cavalry units, for example camels, elephants, and horses. The next building is the siege workshop. This is where you create all your siege tools. You have access to battering rams, mangonels, siege elephants, bombard cannons, and siege towers. Siege are really useful in clearing the buildings. The next building is the castle. Castle is accessible to all civilizations and have their own unique structure and style. You do have a powerful siege unit called the trebuchet, which you gain access to in the Imperial Age. This is a very powerful, long-ranged siege unit to take out buildings. These are all the different unique units that you have access to for different civilizations. I have all the unique units here because this is a custom generated map for the purpose of the tutorial. Krepost and donjons are pretty similar. These are smaller versions of castle and provides unit protection as well. Now let us see the different options available for the different units. First with the villager. Once you select the villager, you'll get the options for building. There are two types of buildings. One is the economic buildings, one is the military buildings. For selecting economic buildings, click on the first button, and for selecting the military buildings, click on the military buildings button. You can cycle through in this page using this arrow. To place a building, simply click on the building and place it on the map. If you see it in red, it means you cannot place the building. To place the building, it's simply to left click the building and the villager will automatically construct. You see a progress bar on top of the building for how long it takes to construct the building. Now, when you select a military unit, you see a different set of options. You get patrol, guard, follow, attack, and the different stances: aggressive stance, defensive stance, stand ground, and no stance. This will be covered in a different video. Now, let's get into how to gather resources. Wood is the primary resource. To gather wood, simply click on the villager and right click on wood. As you can see, the villager goes there and starts cutting down the tree. To gather gold, click on a villager, click on the gold mine. To gather stone, click on the villager, right click on the stone mine. As you can see, villager takes some time to collect some food, wood, gold. Once the villager has collected enough wood, he returns back to town center to drop it off. As you know, this is a long distance for travel. To reduce this distance, this is where we create the buildings. To construct a lumber camp near wood, click on buildings, click on lumber camp, and place it near the wood line. If the wood line starts here, you need to place it touching the wood line to make it more efficient. The same case in gold as well. For gold placement, you need to place a mining camp one tile away from the gold mine. This is more efficient. Next is the food. Food can be obtained from various sources, either by hunting animals. You cannot gather food from penguins, horses, and camels. How to identify whether that animal can be used for food? Just click on the animal. You should see the food bar here. If you don't see the food bar, if the food shows 0, then base cannot be used for hunt. Remember, animals like lions, wolves, panthers always attack your villages and any weak units. Remember to construct mill touching the berries for effective collection. To gather food, simply select the villages and right click on the food. When hunting, villagers always use the bow and arrow. The animals like zebras, ibex, gazelles, and deers usually run away from the villagers. The animals like elephants, rhinos, wild boars basically fight the villagers when you hunt them. Be extra careful when you are hunting the boar as it might kill your villagers. We'll cover the boar luring in a different video. Villagers can also gather food from farms. Farms can be constructed by the villagers once you establish a mill, and that farm should be available in the options here. Villagers can also collect from the herdables. Herdables are domesticated animals. This can be controlled by the player and moved around. This covers all the basics of gathering. Thanks for watching and thanks for the support. See you on the next one.